President Trump is set to address the nation again, and if you're watching this video right now, I'm going to show you why you're still early. There are talks of 500% tariffs being placed on China to counter for market manipulation, and whales are wasting no time reacting to this. We're seeing the Trump insider whale that just made $195 million off of a previous short before last time Trump made an announcement, placing another short at $127 million. Another whale coming out with $130 million short position on Bitcoin. BlackRock just deposited $48 million worth of Bitcoin into Coinbase. And Binance, if they're not in enough trouble already as it is, the largest crypto market maker, Wintermute, has set $125 million worth of USDT and USDC to Binance. We're going to talk later on about some breaking news regarding Binance and the exchange a little bit later on in this video. But if you're watching this video right now, like I just said, you are still early, because just before I recorded this, Trump came out and says that China is planning to work with the United States to find a solution on trade. And while these shorts positions are still open, their liquidation points are set just a little bit higher, which would give us room to continue that breakout. Are we about to see the biggest pump in crypto history? Welcome back to the channel. I am JR, your favorite crypto dad, and you know what to do. Give me a comment, 777, down below if you're feeling bullish, if you're feeling blessed, and you're ready to live your best life. Smash that like button, hit subscribe to affirm it, and let's run into the video.
Do you love crypto, but are you worried about taxes shrinking your retirement nest egg? Here's the deal. Trading and selling crypto can trigger capital gains taxes, eating into your wealth. A crypto IRA fixes that. Per IRS publication 590B, traditional IRA gains like those from crypto aren't taxed until distributed. That's why we've partnered with iTrust, a leading crypto IRA company in the USA, to sponsor today's video. And they offer institutional grade custody for retail clients that want to set up their crypto IRAs for retirement, leveraging top storage solutions like Fidelity, Wells Fargo, and Coinbase Prime to keep your assets secure. To get started, simply click the link in the description of this video, sign up for free, and fund your account with cash. They also offer 401k rollovers or crypto transfers, and you can trade 24/7 with just 1% transaction fees and no maintenance costs. As always, I'm not a CPA or financial advisor, so consult one for tax advice, and we do earn a commission if you sign up using our link below to fund your crypto IRA account, but that helps support value-based videos like this. And iTrust Capital already has over 200,000 crypto IRA accounts and over $14 billion in transactions, proving they're trusted by smart investors just like you. So click the link below, get started now by funding your account today, and let's create generational wealth together.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And just as I stated at the beginning of this, China and the United States working on a trade solution, and this kind of comes right after a bunch of short positions were opened up in preparations for Trump's meeting that's going to take place later on today. There's also market update news coming out of Altcoin Pro University. The link is down below if you want to join there. We'll talk more about that in a little bit. But the Bitcoin dominance weakness is actually hinting at an altcoin season. And now we've looked at the charts, but when you dive into this a little bit more, the macro backdrop shows that with the trade war fears resurfacing, markets are reacting like they always do during macro stress, selling off. But this is what the smart money knows. Earlier this year, when those tariffs first returned, fears spiked. It became one of the biggest buy zones of the year, and this is feeling very similar. I'm going to jump into the charts in a moment and show you this here. We're talking about the range that we're currently at, not being able to get back above that 112,500 zone. And if we do actually drop below 100, what that means. Well, we're going to jump into more of that. Again, Altcoin Pro University is where this is coming from. Market news as well as crypto news, altcoin picks, DeFi yield picks, all of that stuff is at the drop of your hat from our industry leading experts if you join down below. And again, talk about that again in a moment. But just in the last few minutes, there are whales who are waking up to this trend. This one that made $5.5 million in 4 days has flipped from short to long with a 5x long position on 68.4 Bitcoin. And the market historical patterns that have been marching out, and we saw that 1,064 day high on Bitcoin on October 6th, but we're looking for that dump before the pump. And if that is what we just saw, history would suggest we've got over 400% of an increase ahead. We're talking about Bitcoin altcoins looking at 5x to 250x depending on market cap and the room that they've got to grow. Guys, there are green pastures ahead. And one thing I'll hit on in news before we jump into the charts is that Binance is getting themselves into more and more hot water every single day. It's a bold move seeing Wintermute throwing over the millions and hundreds of millions of dollars at them just today before another Trump meeting. But Crypto.com CEO has filed an official case against Binance following its $400 billion in liquidations in that flash crash that was caused by Binance's faulty internal price oracles. The warning says, get your funds off of Binance. I think that most people who are watching these videos are intelligent enough to understand if it's not your keys, it's not your crypto, and we don't tend to use centralized exchanges for a whole lot of holdings, right? Do with it what you will. It's not financial advice, simply informational, educational, and some entertainment purposes only, but get informed. And if you're not informed, jump into Altcoin Pro University, learn crypto tax mastery and crypto security, Web3 security, DeFi security. Wow, guys, I think you got the picture. We'll talk about it more in a moment here. Let's jump into the charts. The first thing we're going to talk about is Bitcoin. Where are we headed? In the short term, I think we're headed down a little bit. But in the long term, it looks like there is a macro bullish picture presenting itself. And there's a lot of bars on my technicals. Again, these are my technicals, not yours. So do with them what you will. They're not entry or exit point discussion here. But I'm going to be talking about EMA ribbons today. And specifically, I'm going to be talking about the 1100 ribbon. That is an 1100 marker, depending on which chart you're looking at. It's 1100 candles. So it could be 1100 days. It could be 1100 weeks. It could be 1100 1 hours or 4 hours or even 15 minutes. And this is going to be on this current 3-hour chart, which we're going to switch it back over here, guys. We're going to go to the 1 hour. On the 1 hour chart, the 1100 ribbon is going to be right here in yellow. It's set for yellow for bullish and red for bearish, and it's currently bearish. So I'm going to go ahead and expand this, open this up just a little bit, and we're going to see this. What is the 1100 candle all about? It's an indicator that's commonly used among desk traders in New York and in Chicago. It's an industry standard, and it shows a lot of control in making moves following the 1100 candle. And so when we go off of the charts, 1 hour in this case, we've already dropped below that. That's a good thing, right? And when we look at the 2 hour, we shrink down, we've already dropped below the 1100 on the 2 hour. On the 3 hour, we're kind of right at it, if you can see that one. And it's also where we are currently in this zone of support that I've been looking at, which is about 109,700 up to 112,400, chopping a little bit, bouncing off of that just a little bit. So that's the 1100 candle right there on the 3-hour chart. When we jump into the 4-hour chart, we haven't touched it just yet. It puts us down at about 108,900 if we were to hit that. And then if you go down to the daily chart, on the daily, all the way down here at $70,900. So what kind of a picture is being painted for us here if we're just looking off of this 1100? You can go back to the 50 EMA and see the resilient strength that Bitcoin has against the 50. And it's a very good indicator. Every time we drop below it, it is a buy signal. I mean, it is a sell signal all day long to sit below that and chop sideways until we come back above it. The 1100 gives us an idea of where things are headed. And ultimately, when we see that we haven't even hit it on the 4-hour candle chart yet, it does show that we've got a little bit, oops, moving that bar out of the way, sorry guys, it does show that we've got a little bit more room to the downside. And that is actually going to be a short-term picture. Now we'll go back to the daily. I'll talk about that one in a moment here. Looking at the 1100 ribbon on the 4-hour, being down here at about the 108,900 level, what I'm looking for is a bounce off of that. And that would indicate that we are going to move back to the upside a little bit. If we bounce off of that, however, this is between two areas, critical areas right here, right? If we drop below this 109,600, 109,700, we lose support, right? And the next layer down for support after that is going to be about the 106 to the 105. So if we drop off of the 1100 and we bounce off of it, that is majorly bullish. That's what I'm keeping an eye on. And we can jump into smaller time frames and actually see if there's, if that rounded out trend is actually taking place, because we do have a wick at the time of this recording on the 4-hour candle. So if we bounce off of it, though, that's an encouraging move. If we don't bounce off of it and we fall through it, we're going to be looking at our next level of support. And again, then we have to move into the next window. After 4-hour, we're going to start looking at the 1 day. Does that mean that I'm talking about a $70,000 Bitcoin? No, not right now, but that wouldn't necessarily be a bad number to hit in the bear market as we retrace all the way down. Where did we hit in the bear market since the last cycle in 2021? We went down to what? 18,000, I think it was, 19,000, something like that. It's not out of the realm of possibilities to retrace all the way down to 70,000. But guess what? We are not done with this bull run. We have a government shutdown that's currently in place right now. We have the government that's going to be opening up. We have Crypto Clarity Acts and other crypto bills that are being pushed to bring this technology to the forefront of the United States of America and push it forward. And with that being said, we have the SEC that'll eventually open up and start approving ETFs. It looks very much like a lot of institutions are trying to sell to retail at the top right now, scoop up the dips for themselves, and prepare for an absolute all-out supply shock when these ETFs go live. It is overall a bullish macro picture still, and that is widely accepted across the board. At this time, I would say that we've got a little bit of a downside risk on Bitcoin, so it doesn't surprise me that you see some of these short positions being opened up by these big whales. Maybe they know something. Maybe they're just looking at the same data that I just showed you. Downside short-term potential with major upside potential, right? And if you look at their liquidation points, $124,000, not a whole lot to worry about right there, right? They've got a little bit of room to go. They can go down, they can scoop up, at their different leverage, 20x's or 5x's or whatever that, they could scoop up some profits and very easily start to move and flip bullish to the upside. We'll be keeping an eye on that as we move. Obviously, Bitcoin is leading the pack on this one. But then we will start to see that liquidity flow into the altcoins. And so we're looking at Ethereum. So much rides on Ethereum with the projects that have been built on it, the gaming projects and the NFT projects. And when we look at what Ethereum's doing right now, it is trying so hard to just hold on to that 4,000 level. It's sitting at $3,967 at the time of this recording. Those 1,100 ribbon markers apply the same way to Ethereum as they do to Bitcoin and any other asset for that matter. And so when we look at the low side potential, though, it's a little bit more encouraging on the daily that we're looking at about $2,683 if we were to get a bounce. But we'll jump into the 4-hour on that and show you guys why I'm more excited about Ethereum holding support is that we don't have a whole lot of room to go down. What 3,598 would be the 4-hour 1,100 ribbon on that one. And at the 3-hour, still have a little bit downside, but it's 3,782. Go to the 2-hour, work our way back and see where we bounced off it. We're below it on the 2-hour. So that's a good thing. To be below it on the 2-hour means that we may have a little bit of short-term downside potential. Stop losses for many people, especially those in our Altcoin Pro University, were already set around that $4,000 mark and just sitting cash heavy, ready to scoop the dip. I think on a day like today, a Trump meeting coming up, it's definitely leading many people to sit by and just wait and hold tight for just a moment and see what they can do. But it definitely has a lot of people questioning the buying opportunity moving ahead. So I'm not going to blaze through a whole lot more, guys. Altcoins are kind of where they are. Solana's down a little bit, down 190. Aster as well as Plasma. We look at these DeFi yield protocol projects that are out there, retracing back down. Aster significantly anyways, retracing back down, and Plasma has been holding and chopping and consolidating in that 45-cent range. XRP has bounced. We're going to be looking to see if we can't get a run to the upside and break it back above the $2.60 mark. That would be short-term bullish. Right now I see, again, we do see short-term bearish movement, but that's across the markets as a whole. But the bigger hurdle is to figure out ways to make your money work for you, to find a way to make money while you sleep, right? So you don't have to work till the day that you die. And many people have stacked a lot of earnings in crypto over the last 2 to 4 years, and it's just sitting there idle. Or people who are newer to crypto and they've set their stop losses and they're sitting cash heavy right now. You got to find ways to make that money work for you. And if you don't have a solution, you need to listen to this.
If you have 10K or more in crypto, you're literally giving up an extra $300 per month in passive income. You're giving up on a free 3 to 8% additional monthly yield just because it's sitting on an exchange like Coinbase or Binance and you're being lazy. You're taught to hodl, just wait for price appreciation, and this is costing you thousands of dollars. So let's see what happens here. While your assets are sitting there doing absolutely nothing and inflation is kicking your ass. For example, Ethereum didn't do anything over the course of 3 months. XRP didn't do anything over a whole year. And Solana, same thing. It didn't do anything for an even longer period of time while you sat there making no money. And I'm not saying that these are bad investments. It's quite the opposite, actually. But the smartest investors in the world make their crypto work for them to generate additional yield. And why would you not do that? You're holding these crypto assets anyways. It's like buying a rental property and not renting it out. If you hold on to the property because you believe that it's going to appreciate in value over years, why wouldn't you rent it out so someone else can pay your mortgage while you still get the value appreciation? So it makes no sense to just hold your crypto without earning yield on your idle coins. And if you're just holding your crypto on exchanges like Coinbase, your assets aren't safe. In fact, Coinbase was hacked for $400 million and the hackers bribed Coinbase employees so they could access sensitive user information, demanding a $20 million ransom from Coinbase, which the company refused to pay.
I want to make you aware of a disturbing email that we received recently at Coinbase. It was a ransom note demanding $20 million in Bitcoin in exchange for these attackers not releasing some information they claim to have obtained on our customers. I'm going to respond publicly to these attackers by saying no. We are not going to pay your ransom.
And I even received a letter in the mail saying that my information was included in that hack. So I'm speaking from firsthand experience here, not just an article that I read online. So not only are you leaving free money on the table by not earning yield on your idle crypto, but you're also putting yourself at risk of losing it all, getting hacked, or having your account frozen by keeping your crypto on centralized exchanges. Because if it's not your keys, it's not your crypto. You already know this, so I don't have to tell you. You can't afford to be lazy with your capital. The US is drowning in nearly $40 trillion in debt. So this is your insurance against the system. To learn how you can earn passive income on your coins every single day while protecting your capital from hacks or scammers, my research team put together a step-by-step tutorial for you to start earning yield on your crypto today. And it takes less than 10 minutes to get set up. All you need to do is go to altcoinpro.com after you're done watching this video, create your account, and click on the Start Here lesson under the classroom, and you'll discover how one liquidity pool is earning our members up to 40% yield on digital assets that they already own. Plus, you can go into the DeFi yield picks and see even more opportunities to earn passive income on your coins, safe and predictably, with complete control and ownership of your assets. You will make significantly more money by being your own bank. And all you need to do is go to altcoinpro.com to get started right now.